It's that hollow ache in your chest, the silence in the room that's straight up louder than a gunshot. You're staring at your phone, checking her last scene, wondering where it all went south. Maybe she walked away, or maybe she just started pulling back until there was an invisible wall between you. Every man in this position asks the same thing: will she ever come back? But here's the cold, hard truth that most guys are too scared to face. The way you're probably trying to get her back right now is exactly why she's moving further away. You're panicking, you're overthinking every text, you're trying to control something that isn't yours to control. But there is a pattern, a quiet, almost invisible shift in energy that works. It's not a game and it's not a trick, it's a psychological truth about attraction that very few men ever master. If you can handle the silence, if you can master your own mind, you can change the dynamic entirely. Before we dive into the deep-seated psychology of why this works, do yourself a favor. If you're serious about leveling up your life and mastering these dynamics, hit that subscribe button right now. Don't do it because I'm asking. Do it because you're done being the guy who chases and you're ready to be the man who attracts. This isn't just about her. It's about you becoming the best version of yourself, the version she can't help but notice. Most men fail because they operate from a place of lack. When she leaves, your brain goes into survival mode. You feel like your value is tied to her attention. So what do? You double down, you text more, you apologize for things you didn't even do, you try to fix the situation with logic. But attraction isn't logical, it's emotional. When you chase, you're sending a loud, clear signal that you are less than. You're saying that your world has stopped because she isn't in it. Women aren't drawn to desperation. They are biologically wired to be drawn to stability, confidence, and emotional strength. Think about it. If you were truly a high-value man with a life full of purpose, would you be losing your mind over one person's absence? No, you wouldn't. And she knows that. The moment you start chasing, the pull is gone. You've become predictable. You've become a burden. To get her back, you have to stop being the guy she left and start being the man she regrets losing. This is where the power of strategic absence comes in. Most guys call this no contact, but it's deeper than just not texting. It's about a total energy shift. Absence, when combined with authentic growth, creates a vacuum. It creates a magnetic unknown. Right now, she thinks she has you figured out. She thinks you're sitting at home, miserable, waiting for her to throw you a bone. As long as she thinks that, she has no reason to come back. There's no mystery, there's no FOMO, fear of missing out. But when you go silent, and I mean dead silent, her brain starts to flip the script. First, she'll feel relief. Then she'll feel curiosity. Eventually, she'll start to wonder, why isn't he chasing me anymore? Did he find someone else? Is he actually doing okay without me? That curiosity is the spark. Without curiosity, there is no attraction. By removing yourself entirely, you give her the space to actually miss you. You can't miss someone who is always in your face or in your notifications. Now let's talk about the aura of stability. Women are experts at reading emotional frequencies. They can sense neediness from a mile away, even through a text message. If you send a hey or a thinking of you while you're feeling anxious, she will feel that anxiety. It's repulsive, but if you spend this time truly grounding yourself, something crazy happens. You start to radiate main character energy. This means you're living your life as if your happiness doesn't depend on her. You're hitting the gym, you're leveling up your career, you're reconnecting with your brothers. You aren't doing it to show her. You're doing it because you value yourself. When your life is full, your absence doesn't feel like a void to you. It feels like space for growth. And paradoxically, that's when she starts to feel the pull. She starts seeing the glow up, whether it's through mutual friends or just a subtle shift in your social media presence. She sees a man who is thriving, not a man who is surviving. That shift is irresistible. The hardest part for any man is the waiting game. Our brains are wired for immediate results. We want to see the progress now. But timing is a subtle art. You have to allow the psychological triggers to take root. If you break silence too early, you reset the clock. You prove that you were just playing a game. But if you remain consistent, if you remain unshakable, you force her to reevaluate her decision. She starts to compare the new you, the strong, silent, successful version, with the version she left. She starts to realize that the grass isn't actually greener on the other side. She realizes that she lost a man of value. This is when the breadcrumbs start. She might like a photo or send a happy birthday or a random question. Most men fuck this up by jumping at the chance. Don't. When she reaches out, you stay calm. You keep it brief. You stay confident. You show her that while the door isn't locked, you aren't standing there holding it open for her. You've moved on with your life, and if she wants back in, she has to earn that spot. Finally, you have to embrace healthy detachment. This is the end game. It's the realization that you are complete with or without her. When you truly reach this state, you become a ghost to her old perception of you. You are no longer that guy she could manipulate or predict. You are a man who knows his worth. This creates a gravitational pull that is almost impossible to ignore. Human beings are naturally drawn to what they cannot fully control or predict. By evolving, by growing, and by maintaining your composure, you create a new version of the relationship before it even restarts. She isn't coming back to the old toxic dynamic. She's coming back to a man who has mastered himself. And that, straight up, is the only way to ensure she comes back 100% and stays. Stop the chase, start the growth, master the silence. That is how you win. It's that cold, hollow ache in your chest, the kind of silence in your room that's straight up louder than a gunshot. You're staring at your phone, obsessively checking her last scene, wondering exactly where the hell it all went south. Maybe she walked out the door. Or maybe she just started pulling back, inch by inch, until there was an invisible wall between you that you couldn't climb over. Every man in this position asks the same damn thing. Will she ever come back? But here's the cold, hard truth that most guys are too scared to look in the eye. The way you're trying to get her back right now, the begging, the checking in, the long paragraphs, is exactly why she's moving further away. You're panicking. You're overthinking every single move. You're trying to control something that isn't yours to control. But there is a pattern, a quiet, almost invisible shift in energy that actually works. It's not a game and it's not some cheap trick. It's a deep psychological truth about attraction that very few men ever master. If you can handle the silence, if you can master your own mind, you can change the dynamic entirely. Before we break down the heavy-duty psychology of why this works, do yourself a favor. If you're dead serious about leveling up your life and mastering these dynamics so you never feel this weak again, hit that subscribe button right now. Don't do it for me. Do it because you're done being the guy who chases and you're finally ready to be the man who attracts. This isn't just about getting her back. It's about becoming the version of yourself that she and the world can't help but respect. Most men fail because they're operating from a place of lack. When she leaves, your brain goes into full-blown survival mode. You feel like your entire value as a man is tied to her attention. So what's your move? You double down, you text more, you apologize for things you didn't even do. You try to fix an emotional problem with logic. But listen to me, attraction isn't logical, it's primal. When you chase, you're sending a loud, desperate signal that you are less than. You're telling her that your world has stopped dead because she isn't in it. Women aren't drawn to that kind of desperation. It's a total turnoff. They are biologically wired to be drawn to stability, confidence, and emotional strength. Think about it. If you were truly a high-value man with a life full of purpose and drive, would you be losing your mind over one person's absence? No, you wouldn't. And deep down, she knows that the moment you start chasing, the pull is gone. You've become predictable, a burden, a safety net. To get her back, you have to stop being the guy she walked away from and start being the man she's terrified of losing forever. This is where the power of strategic absence comes into play. Most guys call this no contact, but it's way deeper than just not texting. It's a total 180 in your energy. Absence, when you combine it with authentic growth, creates a vacuum. It creates a magnetic unknown. Right now, she thinks she has you all figured out. She thinks you're sitting on your couch, miserable, waiting for her to throw you a crumb of attention. As long as she thinks that, she has zero reason to come back. There's no mystery, there's no fear of missing out. But when you go silent, and I mean dead silent, her brain starts to flip the script. First, she'll feel relief, then she'll feel curiosity. Eventually, the silence starts to itch. She'll start wondering, why isn't he blowing up my phone anymore? Did he find someone else? Is he actually doing better without me? That curiosity is the only spark that can reignite attraction. You cannot miss someone who is always in your face or popping up in your notifications. You have to give her the gift of your absence so she can actually feel the weight of what she walked away from. Now let's get into the end scene, the final, most critical stage where everything shifts. This is the moment where the new version of you becomes a reality and her perception of you is shattered. Imagine this, she's been waiting for you to crack. She's been expecting that 2 a.m. I miss you text, but it never comes. Instead, she starts seeing or hearing that you're thriving, not because you're posting fake happy photos to spite her, but because you've actually built a life that's bigger than the relationship you lost. You've hit the gym, your career is on fire, your energy is grounded, and you're moving with a purpose that doesn't require her permission. This creates a massive psychological gap. Suddenly, the power dynamic has flipped. She realized that she wasn't the center of your universe, your purpose was. And that realization hits a woman like a ton of bricks. It creates a gravitational pull that is almost impossible for her to ignore. She begins to see you not as the guy she could manipulate or predict, but as a man of high value who is moving forward with or without her. This final shift is where the 100% return happens, but it only happens if you are truly detached. You have to reach a point where you realize you are complete on your own. When you stop needing her to come back, that's exactly when she feels the strongest urge to return. It's the ultimate paradox of attraction. She'll start testing the waters, a like on a story, a random "how are you" text, a breadcrumb. Most men fuck this up by folding immediately. They get excited, they start chasing again, and they lose all the ground they gained. Don't be that guy. When she reaches out, you stay calm, you stay brief. You show her that the door isn't locked, but you sure as hell aren't standing there holding it open for her. She has to earn her way back into the life of a man who respects himself. You are the prize now. You are the one who decides if she is still a good fit for your life. Understand this clearly. The end goal isn't just to get her back, it's to change the dynamic so completely that she never wants to leave again. She isn't coming back to the old toxic, needy version of you. She's coming back to a man who has mastered his emotions, a man who knows his worth, and a man who is prepared to walk away if his standards aren't met. That is the only way this works. You have to be willing to lose her to actually keep her. When she sees that you are unshakable, that you are thriving, and that your happiness is self-generated, her attraction will hit an all-time high. She will look at you and see a man who is rare, a man who has main character energy, and she will realize that leaving you was the biggest mistake of her life. Stop the chase, embrace the silence, build the man. That is how you win, straight up. No cap, no tricks, just the raw power of self-mastery. If you do this, she doesn't just come back, she comes back with respect. And that respect is the foundation of everything. Now go get to work.